What's up, guys? Today we are doing Nova Rockafeller, Jesus on My Neck. So this song came through as a request with somebody with a donation, but they warned me I may not like it, so they said I didn't have to do it if I didn't want to, which, you know, that description kind of made me want to do it all the more. So if you don't know, we've been diving into the Tom MacDonald rabbit hole, so to speak, and Nova Rockafeller is Tom's partner. I don't think they're married. You can correct me if I'm wrong there, but I'm assuming this song is gonna have some dark imagery. Maybe that's why they didn't think I would like it. I don't know. The thumbnail was pretty spicy, not in a dark imagery way, just, you know, Nova out there. And I mean, to be honest, she was looking very good. Okay. Big ups to Tom, lucky man, but it was much more risque than I would think, based on, you know, the more recent stuff I've heard from them. But that's not really surprising since, I mean, from what I've heard of Tom's story, you know, he had a pretty rough past and was into, you know, drugs and alcohol and that kind of stuff. And I mean, sex and all sorts of debauchery comes along with that. And so if he met Nova back then, I'm sure she was in some of the kind of dark stuff. So I don't know, but they said it's a great song. So I'm going to give it a shot. See, of course, it's going to be my honest first time reaction. So, I mean, if I hate it or it makes me really uncomfortable, I'll tell you guys, and hopefully that doesn't make you downvote the video. If you like it, it's just, you know, it's my honest reaction. Okay. That's all I got to say. So let's check out Nova Rockafeller, Jesus on My Neck.
Tom took the pain, but then nothing grew back in its place. So I watered it with whiskey, spoken tongues at his grave. You think the devil's on his way, the way I cycle through plagues. A ballerina in a box for the spiral I made.
All right, so first off, yeah, I mean, like, she looking good. No disrespect to Tom at all saying that. I don't know where he's at with that kind of thing, but I'm just saying. The style off the bat sounds super dope. It reminds me a lot of, you know who it is? MIA. Paper Airplanes. I don't know if you guys ever heard that song before. Excellent song. A lot of people think of it as just kind of like a poppy, dumb song, but if you actually listen to the lyrics, I believe MIA was like a Indian immigrant or maybe Pakistani, sorry, somewhere around there. And the whole song is basically her making fun of how she's viewed as an immigrant. So she's saying like all this stuff in jest of like what she's supposed to be as an immigrant and however you feel politically about immigration. I just think it's a beautifully done song. This, like the style and Nova's flow immediately just reminds me of that. I don't think I've heard that song in like 10 years or so. Immediately harken back to that because I was a big fan of that song back then, because I thought it was a really cool message presented in a really cool way. I'm not crazy about the whole eye thing. Tom likes to do that. I don't really like the changing color eyes. It seems kind of demonic to me, but is what it is. So far, really cool sounding song. I'm gonna start it over.
Tom took the pain, but then nothing grew back in its place. So I watered it with whiskey, spoken tongues at his grave. You think the devil's on his way, the way I cycle through plagues. A ballerina in a box for the spiral I made. I go around in circles and I cycle through days in a city full of sirens and black tidal and waves. I swim out past the breakers till it sparkles and fades, until the stars are clear as ever and they're screaming my name. I'm so dead, if I died I wouldn't notice. Pull up at the gates in the Uber Ford Focus. All I see is red.
All right, this really reminds me of Paper Airplanes now, but that was a dope breakdown. I really like that, the beat change and the cadence change there. Very cool. I see why you guys like this one. I see why you guys told me this was a really cool one. I haven't yet seen the stuff that would really throw me off. I mean, the sexualization stuff doesn't really bother me. Like, I'm a Christian, but I'm a modern dude. Like, I understand. I'm not really modest, I guess, is the thing to say there. But yeah, super dope so far. I really like the lyrics too. I mean, it's a pretty cool. I'm sorry if this is annoying, but I'm probably going to replay this first 30 seconds a few times, so I really like it.
Tom took the pain, but then nothing grew back in its place. So I watered it with whiskey, spoken tongues at his grave. You think the devil's...
Yeah, Tom took away the pain and nothing grew back in its place. I mean, I get it. I haven't been close to God my whole life, so, you know, there's been plenty of times where, I feel like my relationship with God's like a pendulum, and there's definitely been times where I've swung far away. So I get that even in times when you're supposed to be happy, that emptiness.
Tom took the pain, but then nothing grew back in its place. So I watered it with whiskey, spoke in tongues at his grave. You think the devil's on his way, the way I cycle through plagues. A ballerina in a box for the spiral I made. I go around in circles and I cycle through days in a city full of sirens and black tidal and waves. I swim out past the breakers till it sparkles and fades, until the stars are clear as ever and they're screaming my name. I'm so dead, if I died I wouldn't notice. Pull up at the gates in the Uber Ford Focus. All I see is red and I feel like Moses. Jesus on my neck, Jesus on my neck. I'm so dead, if I died I wouldn't notice. Pull up at the gates in the Uber Ford Focus. All I see is red and I feel like Moses. Jesus on my neck, Jesus on my neck. Jesus on my speed dial right after all the demons.
Oh, not a big fan of that. Like, why you gotta have the blood running out of your mouth? Nova, come on. It's just kind of gross and morbid. So yeah, not a big fan of that. I mean, if that's the worst it gets, I think we're fine. The rest of the video is okay to me. I mean, I see like the upside down cross on the ski mask could definitely be, kind of jarring to some that view it as like a satanic symbol. There's definitely been points where I felt the same, but after studying, like Paul and stuff, I actually kind of see the upside down cross as a more empowering symbol than a satanic one, even if you're trying to implore it as that, which I don't know if she is or not or whatever, but even if you're somebody trying to use that as a symbol of evil or blasphemy against Christ, you're actually kind of making a fool of yourself, because the most famous person crucified upside down was Paul, and he did so because he felt that he wasn't worthy of dying in the same fashion as Christ, even though being upside down was much more painful and a much more brutal way to be crucified, which I believe it was the Romans gladly obliged and crucified him upside down. He took the additional pain and torment as a way to honor God. So that symbol doesn't throw me off per se, or make me feel uncomfortable and uneasy. If there's more like satanic stuff, it might, I'm a true believer in the presence of good and evil in the world, and things that glorify evil, I really don't like to consume.
Yes, all I see is red and I feel like Moses. Jesus on my neck, Jesus on my neck. Jesus on my speed dial right after all the demons. Fighting them in levels, final boss will be the ceiling. I'm ignoring every call, might as well have got a pager. I'm only showing up the paper, so man, you and your rager. Another face from a bad dream.
Huh. Very interesting lyrics there. I missed it the first time because I was kind of thrown off by the blood, but she said, Jesus on my speed dial right after all the demons. Man, I feel like that's a very relatable idea to a lot of people, all the times we use our demons and our vices to quash the feelings that really we should be calling upon Christ or God or whatever you believe in to handle those things, but instead we turn to the demons first. I don't know if that's exactly what she's saying there, but that's my interpretation of it. I think it's a great line. I mean, that would almost lead me to believe she has a stronger religious inkling having made this song than I thought she did.
Jesus on my neck, Jesus on my speed dial right after all the demons. Fighting them in levels, final boss will be the ceiling. I'm ignoring every call, might as well have got a pager. I'm only showing up the paper, so man, you and your rager. Another face from a bad dream. A name I wrote on paper, set the flame and then swallow, because the sacrifice was safe. Another stranger that I smile at while I'm out buying milk, where I'm a name on a credit card of which I can't pay the bill. I'm so dead, if I died I wouldn't notice. Pull up at the gates in the Uber Ford Focus. All I see is red and I feel like Moses. Jesus on my neck, Jesus on my neck. I'm so dead, if I died I wouldn't notice. Pull up at the gates in the Uber Ford Focus. All I see is red and I feel like Moses. Jesus on my neck, Jesus on my neck. I don't need nobody when the pops off. Yeah, I don't like the way I'm going, you can get dropped off. All the blood that's on my hands can never get washed off. I got fans to pull up on you like Barack. I don't need nobody when the so my hands can never get washed off. I got plans to pull up on you like Rockafeller. I'm so dead, if I died I wouldn't notice. Pull up at the gates in the Uber Ford Focus. All I see is red and I feel like Moses. Jesus on my neck, Jesus on my neck. I'm so dead, if I died I wouldn't notice. Pull up at the gates in the Uber Ford Focus. All I see is red and I feel like Moses. Jesus on my neck, Jesus on my neck.
Damn, that was a really dope song. I really dug that. Like musically, it was really cool. It had a ton of cool lyrics in it. Her vibe is just super like intoxicating. Like the way she speaks, the way she enunciates, the emotions and stuff she puts forth into her expressions and her reaction. Super, super dope artist. Super cool stuff to listen to. Thank you guys for recommending that one. That was fun. That was unexpected. There were definitely, you know, I don't really like the whole blood flowing out of her mouth thing. And it seems like there's a definite like dark tone to the song, but I don't know, at least in my eyes and my interpretations, it almost feels like a mockery of that. I mean, I could be way off base here. Like, I don't know, because this is, I think, one of her older songs, right? Yeah, this is 8 years ago. So I don't know. Maybe I'm putting something into it that's not there, but it almost feels like making fun of this like evilness that she needs to dance with, either in her life or just being a pop star. That's why she's wearing the scantily clothing. That's why she's wearing the upside down cross. That's why she's got the blood dripping from her mouth, because this is what she needs to do. And it's, you know, I'm so dead, if I died I wouldn't notice. Basically talking about like she's acting in this way even though she feels, you know, completely empty and dead. Like this is just who she has to be type of thing. Almost like a mockery of like the glorification of all this evil and sex and violence and everything else that comes out in pop culture and media. Like I said, I may be way off left field. It might not be that deep. She might have just been trying to make a dope song, which it is. I love her vibe. And frankly, I kind of like a female rapper that actually like has a cool tone and pays a little attention to her lyrics. Like it's a little annoying that the bulk of the industry in the female end of like the rap and hip hop game is just like women having ever increasingly large asses that they shake in smaller and smaller clothing. And that's like the epitome of their talent that they're selling. Like I'm not trying to like dehumanize anybody or anything. It's just that's how I feel like they do. So it's really cool to hear a female artist who is attractive put down some dope lyrics with some, at least to me, deep meaning, and do it in a way that sounds super slick and cool and catchy and feel like it's something you could bump in the car or anything else. So big props to Nova. I like this one. I think I might listen to it more without watching the video. I don't know, like, because I do like the video because she looks cool in it and like the visuals are cool. I don't really like the blood part.
But then nothing grew back in its place, so I watered it with whiskey.
I love this start too.
You think the devil's on his way, the way I cycle through plagues. A ballerina in a box for the spiral I made. I go around and
man, I might be right, man. I might be right. Listen to this lyric.
Ballerina in a box for the spiral I made.
A ballerina in the box for the spiral I made. I might have clocked this one right. I might have clocked her intention with this right. I don't know.
Go around in circles and I cycle through days in a city full of sirens and black tidal and waves. I swim out past the breakers till it sparkles and fades, until the stars are clear as ever and they're screaming my name. I'm so dead, if I died I wouldn't notice. Pull up at the gates in the Uber Ford Focus. All I see is red and I feel
I really
like
dig
Moses.
this.
Jesus on my neck, Jesus on my neck. I'm so dead, if I died I wouldn't notice. Pull up at the gates in the Uber Ford Focus. All I see is red and I feel like Moses. Jesus on my neck, Jesus on my neck. Jesus on my speed dial right after all the demons.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been breaking down all this. I went to the peak on the YouTube like slider. Because I figured it was like a cool image to stop at to talk, and it's her ass. Oh yeah, man. The internet is a bunch of gooners. All right, there. That's a little better. No, I really dig it, and I think I kind of pegged the song right. And if I didn't, hey, that's what it means to me, and I like it like that. So I'm gonna listen to it and think about it in that context. I don't think of it as a glorification of anything bad or evil. In fact, I think it more of a mocking of that lifestyle. That's at least how I see it. And it's a very catchy one at that. So thank you guys so much for watching. But yeah, this was great. You know, I've been diving into the Ren stuff a lot recently, and it's very cerebral music, like stuff I'm listening extremely intently, has me thinking very deeply. This was kind of a nice switch. Not to say like her songs aren't deep or anything. That's not my point. It's just, it's different. It's much funner and like livelier, which, I mean, I'm sure Ren has songs like that too. It's just what I've reacted to so far has been really intense. Thank you guys again, recommending it. I appreciate it. I enjoyed this one. Let's get back to work, guys. Keep praying. I'll see you in the next one.